Stop it.
If I knew, I'd fix it. But if I knew, it also wouldn't hurt because I'd have fixed it. But I don't know what I did. I just know it hurts.
My hands smell like vinegar.
Ew.
I mean, I guess it's kind of clean, but it's still vinegar.
I don't like the smell of vinegar.
Every time I think of vinegar right now, like I read a very demented story earlier about vinegar, and so now I'm kind of like scarred a little bit.
That's coincidental.
Yeah,
What?
it was like a Reddit post talking about like vinegar, and basically it's bad when the title of the post says my hamster exploded.
Oh no.
I spied treasure.
What did they do?
Yeah. Apparently she was like making salad dressing or something, and she spilled some vinegar, and she went to go get stuff to clean it up, and when she came back, her hamster was like licking up, which was fine. She was like, nobody can help her clean it up, like no big deal, right? And then they said shortly later, it just, instead of being excited, was just standing still. And they're like, that's kind of weird. And so everyone kind of gathered around to look at it, see if it was okay. And then the hamster started like making a sizzling, fizzling noise, and then swelled up and exploded like everywhere. And they were like, oh my god. And so they get like and it scarred like niece and nephew who were there, like, and young people. They're like, oh my gosh, like this hamster literally like, blew
Now's
up.
our chance. Let's get
And
him. Here we go.
when they cleaned it up, like they said, that apparently what happened was the hamster had gotten into the cabinet
It's my
and
turn.
had ended up eating some
My turn.
baking soda.
It's my turn.
So when it drank
Here we
up the
go.
vinegar, the baking soda and vinegar had interacted inside the hamster and made it
I mean, that
spontaneous combust.
But I just question how that all happened.
You okay?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the chance of that. Yeah, apparently she didn't realize. She said that
Okay.
it had gotten into the cabinet and eaten some baking soda apparently, and then when it drank vinegar later on, she thought it was okay, and then apparently Then I was like,
It's a
that's
treasure
very
chest.
visual. Yeah, I can picture that now
Mm.
very easily.
I don't like that at all.
Yep. Now you will never forget that image, and you didn't even see it. It was just the
I'm still just not sure, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems a bit outrageous. 'Cause I mean, like, even with the chemical reaction, even I feel like even with the chemical reaction, and it does make stuff happen, but I don't think to make it swell that much to
I
explode.
just feel like wouldn't it start. I don't know if Hammer's just gonna throw up. I don't know, but like I feel like it would just come back out the front, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it would shoot out the front and the back, wouldn't it? Instead, almost like a laxative.
Yeah.
Well, it depends
But,
on how
well,
much they ate.
I guess, but
I guess.
plus the size of the hamster.
Plus, yeah, it also depends on if they actually are physically capable of throwing up. Not all creatures can do that. Not all
I
creatures
don't
have
know
the
if
same
hamsters can throw up.
reflex that we have.
Nope, they can't. Okay.
Well, that would explain it. What?
Oh, rodents cannot throw up. Now you know.
Oh,
Oh.
takes the phrase "pop goes the weasel" to a whole new meaning.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Pop goes the hamster.
I don't like that.
Mira didn't hear the whole story.
I don't care. I don't like it.
Stream later on. So
What's that sound?
I see smoke. Is it coming from the factory?
the one that's very on fire.
Well, they might not be able to see it.
Was there an explosion? Damn, we better see what's going on.
Run!
Noom!
Time for D to be all the side characters.
That's not what I was done for.
Is everyone all right?
What happened here?
I don't know. They came from out of nowhere. Monsters in the factory.
In a factory?
In the middle of the city?
No, these weren't your everyday beasties. They looked almost mechanical.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, sounds like the arcadians we spotted at Corellia Fortress.
Yikes.
Crap! Did the fire reach the munitions? That's not good.
There are still people stuck inside.
I'm just saying, if the building is looking like that with fire, they're either dead or about to
They're
be.
dead already.
Yeah. Like, the only way they're not dead is if they're actually following, like, the rules
They
of
would
a
be
fire.
cooked alive
And even
and
then,
burned.
like, exactly, yeah. They're getting second, third degree burns currently, at best.
Are you kidding me?
It's true. We haven't been able to account for all the workers. I don't even know whether the other guards are safe.
Why haven't the railway military police arrived yet? Or the provincial army?
I don't even hear the siren anymore.
Maybe it got busted up by the explosion.
We need to go in.
Reading that's ridiculous.
Are you serious? People in there need help, and right now, it looks like we're the only ones who can give it to them. Any minutes till the fire claims someone who could have saved. I'm not about to stand by and do nothing.
I think this is the moment where every single firefighter in existence is like, don't fucking go inside. But this is a video game, and we don't care
He's
about
got
real life
plot armor,
situations.
So he's fine.
Reen,
Wait, it's too dangerous in there. At least wait for the RMP's reinforcements to arrive.
every second counts here. The sooner we go in, the better chance we have of saving those inside.
You can help us out by evacuating everyone still in this area.
Also, bear in mind we can cast magic to keep things away from us as we're in there, so... Not real life scenario.
Again, magic is bullshit, and we're video game characters.
Well, you have a point, but... Sounds like we're just gonna have to pin all our hopes on you guys. I beg you, save the others while we're still inside.
Just leave it to us.
Alright, we're going in.
Ready.
Wow.
Whoa. What is that thing?
Stay
don't
back,
like-
you monster.
I don't like the thrusting at the front.
No. Not at all.
I don't like that.
There's two pieces on it to do that.
It's practicing Pilates.
Still no sign of reinforcements. Damn it. Oh my god, these guys, don't worry. We're done for!
Look, it's your turn to voice all the side characters because we have a bunch of other ones.
Eek. God, just have mercy on us.
Just hang on.
You're.
Leave this to us.
You guys make sure all the workers are evacuated.
Got it.
Looks like we're dealing with one of those archaisms after all. Though I've got to admit, it seems like a meaner breed than the ones we fought in Guerrilla Fortress.
It's packing some serious firepower, too. If we let our guard down, we're finished.
All right. Let's keep it from focusing its fire and take it out.
Right.
Enemy sighted. Take him out. My turn. Huh.
It's my turn.
Great.
Let's go.
My turn. Give it up, everyone.
Leave it to me. Time barrier. Break.
My turn.
Ha!
My turn. The second form, Gale! Oh, no, you don't.
Right. Oh no, you don't. Go.
Gotcha! Here we go! Burn to ash!
You know, it makes sense that it resists.
Right!
It resists pretty much every elemental thing, unfortunately.
Arcus, activate!
Right. Analyzing enemy attack patterns. Analysis complete.
It just has 61,000 health.
Easy.
It's, you know,
Right.
just a little bit.
Fire.
My turn! Ha! Now's our chance! Let's go, everyone! Give it to me!
It's my turn. Light.
Go!
Have anything? Okay, that'll go off before.
Ooh.
It's my turn. How about this? Go!
I'll back you up.
Ha!
Right. Arcus,
Go! Sit! Go!
I've got you. Huh?
Here we go! Ta! Azure Flames!
Damn.
Okay, it's safe for now.
All right.
Done.
Please hold your applause.
We did it.
Man, that hunk of metal didn't go down gently.
Didn't we tell you all to leave?
Yeah, really. They're just like woo, in the background, just watching. Wow, you guys really are something else. I can't believe you actually beat that thing. I thought I recognized you. That uniform? Wow, I can't see you. You must be those students from the military academy.
Thank goodness everyone's all right. Mission complete.
It does look that way.
Claire.
Oh,
Are you all unharmed?
Captain Claire.
the railway military police.
I'm relieved that none of you seem to be seriously injured. Please leave this to us and evacuate the building at once.
Huh? What do you mean?
This factory contains classified military information and materials. Only authorized personnel are permitted to enter. No exceptions, not even for the daughter of the Rhineford family. Well,
Can't say I'm happy about this, but
she does have a point.
Leave things here to the railway military police then.
Thank you. Please show them out immediately. And make sure to treat them courteously. Give special attention to the injured.
Yes, ma'am.
I get it, but at the same time, we're rescuing people.
Well, that's
I
why she
feel
was
like-
not mad, but she has to follow orders.
I'm just saying that if
not mad, though.
a military compound there was a fire going on, and you, a civilian, ran into a building to try to save someone too, I think the military and firemen would be very pissed off at you.
I'm not saying it was a bright idea. Also, not advocating for running into burning buildings.
Yeah,
PSA
definitely
to
not.
everybody. Don't run into burning buildings.
We've already made that PSA at the beginning. It's like, this
I'm
is a
making
bad
it again.
idea.
In case
Don't
it
do
wasn't clear
it.
the first time.
So through, clearing out the remaining archaisms and extinguishing the fire and bringing it into the incident. Looks like everything should be alright now. Sounds like all the people who are still inside are safe at least. The Royal Military Police sure have earned their reputation.
Agreed. I certainly have a newfound appreciation for the capabilities. I suppose I should have expected no less from an organization under the Chancellor's direct control.
All's well that ends well, I guess. But still, this has the terrorist signature all over it.
Sure, seems that way.
Yep. Don't know why they wouldn't show up in person, though.
Yeah, makes me wonder what they were trying to accomplish here. This is, I believe, Angie.
I'm Angie, right?
Oh.
Yes, biker chick.
No, you're Mira.
That is true. I am Mira, not
Also
Angie,
accurate.
but anyways.
I was like,
I'm
who the
having
fuck's
that looked
Angie?
into
Okay.
as we speak.
I feel like this could be Sarah or
Oh, no,
Lisa's
it was
mom.
her.
Oh, no, it's still
You
Claire.
were
Oh,
wrong!
sorry.
Okay,
I was like, why would it be Angie?
you'll see.
Wrong!
Captain Claire. Thank you for all your help, Captain. I should have assumed cool voice, Icy Maiden.
I suppose.
Likewise. Thanks to your quick thinking, none of the personnel were critically injured.
Glad to pitch in where we could.
We're just happy to know that all the people inside made it out safely. As am I. That said, it doesn't excuse your actions.
Huh?
It was fortunate you were able to defeat the Archaism without backup. But I don't appreciate that you ran in there without waiting for us to arrive. Not only does this factory contain confidential information, you yourselves could have been seriously hurt, or worse. Try to gain an understanding of the crisis unfolding here, then do your best to stay out of it.
Isn't that what I just told you?
That's what I told you last night, and since
The deadpan.
it seems it didn't take, I'm telling you again.
Your eyeballs.
It's the Zila look.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, talk about a critic.
Well, she's not wrong.
I realize that. I'm afraid I can't turn a blind eye to it. Especially not when lives are on the line.
What?
If we have the power to save someone and we don't use it to do that, what kind of people would that make us? That's why, even if you reprimand me, I won't regret us doing what we did. Oh,
Reen? ... Very well then.
I wanted to give it a minute of dramatic flair. Huh?
Fortunately, no one was gravely injured, so I'm willing to overlook your rashness this time. But I'd suggest exercising a little more caution in the future. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, look at you getting all tongue-tied, lover boy.
You've fallen for her charms.
The glare.
Told you, it's not like that.
Captain, do we have any idea where that archaism could have come from? The terrorists may be the prime suspects, but we didn't see any of them inside.
Come to think of it, we were wondering the same thing, so we did a little digging around. And it seems they were brought into the factory in shipping containers. This is supposedly confidential information, but I'm going to give it to a bunch of high school students because they asked very nicely. Not just recently, either. Over 3 months ago.
I don't think this part was confidential. I think it's the research that they're doing in there that's confidential.
I would still consider this part confidential, but whatever. 3 months?
That would mean they've been sitting in the factory since late June, back when we were in the Nord Highlands.
And roughly a month before the Imperial Liberation Front announced themselves to the world in Heimdall. To be honest, we neglected to consider the possibility ourselves.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, how dare you not consider that?
So today's incident was planned that far in advance?
You know, they act like people just do these things on spur of the whim. Like, just spur of the
I
moment.
just decided to activate these archaisms just, because.
I just decided last night to have them shipped in today so I could
Yeah,
activate
just-
them.
Yeah, exactly. It certainly appears that way. Their leader is frighteningly cunning. But compared to the others, we still haven't turned up much on him. I suspect he was responsible for planning what happened here as well. You're talking about C, right?
Isn't that the guy you fought in the Capitol?
That's him.
He was pretty tough.
You can say that again.
Exceptional strength and a calculating intellect. Looks like we're up against a real beast.
It seems so. We'll need to remain vigilant going forward. But for now, you can leave things here to us. I suggest you get back to your field study. Wait a minute.
Captain Claire? What is it?
Is something wrong? There's no sign of the provincial army. By now, they should be well aware of what happened here. Damn it. I can't believe I forgot about them. Huh?
Whoa, so what are you saying?
Captain Claire. We've got trouble at the mine. It's been hit by the terrorists.
Blast them.
I think they already blasted.
Yeah, probably.
What? I feared as much. All units withdraw. We're heading to the Saxon iron mine. Send a message to HQ. I need 12 companies from the surrounding area here inside of 2 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
I'm not sure, but
From the sound of things, the mine we were in yesterday was attacked by the terrorists.
oh no, the miners!
Sounds like we better shake a leg.
Yeah, come on. Let's follow them.
Other way.
Not that way.
Not that way either.
Nope.
You're gonna choose to go everywhere except.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Ugh, every minute we spend here, things are getting worse for the
Stay
miners.
calm, Elisa.
Yeah, the railway military police are on their way.
Let's at least try and get a look at what's going on.
so many voices.
But man, if terrorists really were planning to blow up the mine,
It would shake the very foundations of the Empire.
I like how they put ... and not
That
sensual
looks like
moan.
a tough one. Be careful.
yeah. I'm not going to repeat it. I was tempted for a moment, and then I was like, nope, that'll live on the
Nope.
internet forever.
It's gonna be on the internet forever.
Man, I was hoping for a new soundbite.
Too bad. I succeeded on a wisdom check on my end.
I would have
What
clipped it.
the hell?
I know you would have.
Mm-hmm.
This is awful.
Smoke's pouring out all over the place. Can't see too far like this. The terrorists set fire to something? Besides the building we were in before?
Looks like the fire's been put out. But something still seems off.
So, the terrorists decided to strike here rather than the military factory.
Oh, wait, that's me.
It is.
Completely blanked on Elliot there for a second. Look, over there by the entrance.
Huh? Looks like the railway military police and the provincial army.
Yeah, but what are they doing here? Looks like the entrance is completely blocked off, too.
Let's go and take a closer look.
My army's better than your army. No, my army's better than your army.
The terrorists have complete control of the mine. They've taken the miners hostage, and the attempt to enter the mine may put their lives in jeopardy.
And that's why you're standing out here twiddling your thumbs without even attempting to negotiate with them. They clearly have an objective in mind here. We can't allow them to buy any further time.
Looks like a pretty heated argument.
So the terrorists have taken over the mine.
And as the first ones on the scene, the provincial army has taken it upon themselves to set up a blockade. Or at least that's what it looks like at first glance.
But why?
Man, this has suspicious written all over it.
Yep, the provincial army is too well prepared. No matter how you look at this, they've got to be in on it.
You can't be serious.
I mean, an ex-Jaeger would know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In on it? The terrorists set off some kind of explosion in there. Look at all that smoke pouring out.
That's what they want you to think. But that doesn't look like smoke from a fire to me. They're probably using smoke grenades.
Smoke grenades?
If that's true, that means the provincial army has some other reason for blockading the mine.
Maybe it's got something to do with Reinford's first factory.
Ah, that's right. The railway military police were investigating the first factory too, weren't they?
Yeah, that's what Captain Claire said. And that makes the timing of all this look pretty damn suspect. Almost like there's something they're trying to hide.
And that mean they sealed the mine to give them time to dispose of it. Makes a fair bit of sense if you think about it.
But what could they be trying to hide? What's down there? No way to say for sure right now. What I can say, though, is that it's pretty likely the miners are in danger. We need to find some way to help them if we can.
Let's return to Ruhr for now. We need to think carefully about what to do next.
Elisa,
Yep. If we're going in, it's better to have a plan.
all right, let's head back.
Yeah, let's just get involved with hostages. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Nobody said they were smart.
Hmm.
Also, we're the protagonists.
Well, to start with, we need to work out exactly what's going on here.
If it's true that the terrorists are working with the Noble faction, then it seems likely their aim is to eliminate the evidence of whatever they've been hiding in the first factory.
But did they really have to go this far? The iron mine is owned by His Majesty the Emperor himself, right?
That's right. The province of Nortia is tasked with managing it while Rhineford mines, refines, and processes the iron. And iron is the single most vital natural resource to this nation's continued survival. If this isn't resolved quickly, it's going to deal a heavy blow to the entire country, including the nobles themselves.
So I guess the question is just whether the Noble faction and the terrorists realize that or not. Sounds to me like they're a pretty divided bunch as it is.
Yep. The terrorists seem like they're basically all commoners, too. They're only cooperating because they both see the Chancellor as a common enemy.
And if that's the case, it seems pretty likely that what they're doing here is related to that somehow.
Sounds like someone started the party without me.
There's Angie.
Ah, there
See,
she is.
it made sense why I guessed it was her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Angelica?
I'm reading the walkthrough. I saw that Angie appears. That's why I guessed it.
You came too, George? Yo, figured you'd show up eventually.
Well, we had to test the sidecar, obviously.
This bike
Yeah,
is just
sure.
full of surprises. You made the trip to Ruhr in 7 hours. So, speed-wise, we're looking great. Comfort, though, we're gonna have to tweak.
I
a few
imagine
things.
that is not a comfortable 7-hour
The
ride
worst
for somebody
car
his size in that
ever.
sidecar.
Yeah.
They don't have speed limits.
I swear, you two never change.
I think that the bike is literally governed, like it cannot go any faster than...
It may have a maximum capacity speed, sure.
And it goes slower when there's extra people on it and the extra weight of the sidecar.
Still, there's no speed limits.
Kind
You
of
are
figured
right.
Toho wouldn't be able to make it too.
Yeah, she's working on gathering a boatload of information, though. She said she'd be in touch if she finds anything out.
That's reassuring at least.
Could someone tell me what's going on?
You seem to be hot on the trail of something, but I'm not sure it's the same thing we're investigating.
Does this have something to do with those family affairs you told me you were worried about?
Yeah, it does. I had some nagging suspicions about it. Unfortunately, my hunch turned out to be right on the money.
Hold on. Isn't the director of the first factory...
My dear Uncle Heidel Rogner, yeah. Seems like it might do us both some good to swap info. How about it?
Let's find a better place to talk.
Parachute
dumping
Matt Mercer
iron
and
onto
all
the
of your
black market?
characters.
Yeah. The amount of steel they're producing doesn't quite match up with the amount of iron ore being mined. That's been the case for quite a few years now.
Officially, the reason given is that the purity of the ore being mined is lower now than it used to be. But if you look at what's coming out of the mine, there's no evidence of that.
Well, that would explain why the figures don't add up.
And because they were feeding the raw iron onto the black market rather than the finished steel...
That makes it a lot harder to notice when a little goes missing here and there.
Man, Toho put all the pieces together on her own?
I'd expect no less from my beloved Toa.
She poured over everything. Rhineford's yearly sales figures, government reports of the mine's productivity, you name it. That's how she picked up on
When?
the discrepancy.
Toa is... Toa.
When did Toa have time for that?
Toa does not exist by the laws of our ability. Toa
She must
exists
not.
outside of time and space.
I want that power. That sounds awesome.
She's got
She's
a time
really
turner.
something
Don't worry
else.
about it.
Iron ore being sold off the black market, accounting sheets that don't add up.
Also, bear in mind how terrible she is at actually keeping a sleep schedule.
That power I do have.
Accurate.
George. How much iron ore is unaccounted for, roughly speaking? Do you know? Assuming for a moment that all the missing iron was refined into steel, how much steel would we be looking at?
This is just a bit of speculative math on my part. But I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 Torum, which is enough to build 2,000 oxen tanks.
2,000?
That's practically an army.
The Saxon iron mine is a pillar of the Empire's economy. The amount of iron they pull out of there is almost ridiculous. Even if you pocket a small amount every year, it's going to add up to a lot of iron real quick.
But what are they planning to do with all of it? Is the noble faction trying to make their own tanks in secret?
They couldn't even if they wanted to. Only the second factory has the knowledge and equipment to make tanks. And not only does the second factory have close ties with the Imperial Army, it also leans toward the reformist faction.
You need all kinds of complicated technology to make even a basic tank. It's not as simple as just grabbing some steel, some blueprints, and some grease and getting to work.
So what does that leave them? Selling the iron to another country for profit? I don't know how likely that is. Seems like deals that big would be too easy to trace.
Okay, so setting aside the ore itself for a moment, now that you know this, and given what's happening in Ruhr right now, what were the two of you planning on doing?
It's pretty simple. My uncle oversees the first factory, and the provincial army is blockading the mine. There's no way my family isn't involved. On the other side, you've got all the miners just trying to do their jobs who got dragged into this whole mess. I'm a Ragnar. I might not be a great daughter, but there's no way I'm gonna let this go on without putting up a fight.
Angie.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're seriously gonna go talk to your old man about this?
Hell no. Like he'd even listen to a word I said. Same goes for the provincial army. I'd just be wasting my breath. That's why I'm planning on sorting out this mess myself. I used to work part-time in the mine. I know the place like the back of my hand. As long as I can find my way inside, I think I can handle the terrorists well enough.
I figured you'd say something like that.
Honestly, does nothing faze you?
In that case, I'd like to ask that you take us along.
We can look at this as a test of how to best respond to a sudden crisis. Looking at it from that perspective, I think it fits neatly within the scope of our field study, don't you?
Yeah, after hearing all that, I don't want to let them have their way.
Agreed.
Angelica literally said
with
figure out
Angelica
what's
here.
going on here and then stay the fuck out
My
of it.
family's involved in this too.
You mean Claire
I
did,
feel like
yes.
I have a duty to do
Yes,
something
Claire.
about it.
I don't care.
Truth be told, I was kind of hoping you'd
A
back me up
powerful
anyway.
woman told you guys not to get fucking involved.
Yes, but now another powerful woman is telling them to get involved. Or is implying they should get involved.
No offense to Angelica, but I think Claire outranks her.
Angelica is a noble's daughter.
Yeah, and?
That alone in this country means a lot.
Whatever.
Now, I'm not saying that she would outrule Claire necessarily, but being a noble in any capacity means you have a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever help you can give, I'll take it.
Well, that's that.
The next thing we need to consider is how to slip into the mine without the provincial army taking notice. At the very least, Angie should be able to get the officer in charge to talk with her, but...
So, what, we sneak inside while she's distracting them?
I don't know, that sounds a little overly simplistic to work.
Leave finding our way in to me. If anyone's good at cutting red tape, it's my mother. Maybe she could help us out.
She could, but would she?
Well, if you think so.
All right, I'll leave securing an alternate route to you then. For now, I'm gonna see if I can find out anything else about my family's or the provincial army's involvement here. George, give Toa a call and see if you can find out what the Imperial government is doing about all this.
Gotcha. I'll see if I can turn up any machinery that might be useful too.
This is starting to feel like last year's field studies all over again.
Wow, Elisa put aside her pride.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
German Irina.
Also, lower context for the last year.
It's never talked about. As far as I remember, I don't think I've ever learned what they did. At least as far as I can remember. We should get going too. Your mother should be back at the Rhineford headquarters by now, right?
I think so. Sharon said she'd be in around noon. We can always just ask at the reception desk, though. Yeah.
Looks like we'll be kicking into high gear again.
I love that Fee randomly, that like German Jaeger
Yeah.
comes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like every field study is destined to end up like this. You're not wrong,
Gee, I wonder
Alien.
why.
Man, so many people are playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now. Ian's playing it. Anoxia's playing it. I've had like 3 other friends playing it. I'm like, what? All of a sudden, everybody's playing Baldur's
There's a
Gate.
mod. There's a mod for Fate characters.
Oh dear. I have no idea who the receptionist was.
I don't think we had her yet. I'm looking. Oh, there.
Lady
All right, it's me now.
Elisa. Thank
Okay.
goodness you're all right. I was so worried when I heard you left the city. Oh, you're talking about the trouble at the mine, right? Actually, I was hoping to talk with Mother about that. Is she in her office right now? Chairman Irina returned just a short while ago. Would you like me to set up an appointment? Please. Yes, that's right. Lady Elisa has. Understood. She says she can see you right now, though she can't spare more than a few minutes. If you want to head up right now, she's waiting for you in her office. Thank you. This shouldn't take long. All right, let's head up to floor 23. Why was that a hard sentence for me?
Why do I get the feeling Sharon is going to be right there to welcome us?
You can count on it. If Sharon's not there to greet us, something's going wrong.
Right, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Elevator.
Oh, I have to go to the correct elevator. You're not going to be able to walk around, yada yada yada. Thanks.
Welcome back, everyone. I've been waiting for you.
Surprise, surprise.
I knew it.
Like the rising of the sun.
I see how it is. You're taking Reinford's side again, huh?
As long as I wear this uniform, I'm simply a humble maid of the Reinford household. You, the chairman, and Master Gwyn are all deeply important to me.
Thanks, I think. Show us in then.
Of course. Please follow me.
Bring them in.
As you wish.
Mother, we need to see you.
Excuse us.
That was dramatic. I'm sorry. Boom. Mother? Yeah, mother? It really was, literally. The
I
door slammed
apologize for
open.
canceling
Mother?
your dinner plans last night. But it's looking unlikely I'll be able to join you tonight either.
No, that's fine. We understand.
It's hardly surprising given the current circumstances.
I'm not sure what's keeping you so busy, considering you haven't even managed to fulfill one of your most basic duties.
My lady.
The miners who work at Saxon are employees of this company. With the Provincial Army barricading the mine and refusing to budge, those miners are at the mercy of the terrorists. I assume you've issued a formal objection to Marquis Ragnar?
Not on behalf of the company, no. It sounds like Director Heidel Ragnar of the First Factory has requested something be done as a formality, but nothing more.
That's it? The First Factory has been dumping huge amounts of ore onto the black market for years now. Don't even try and tell me you haven't noticed it.
Of course I've noticed. Being unable to bring the First Factory in line allowed that to happen, and that's my failure, I admit. But think, if we assume the terrorists aren't acting alone here, what good would it do to issue an objection to Marquis Ragnar?
Well...
There are many possible outcomes to this crisis, and we must be prepared for all of them. For example, we need to consider the possibility that the terrorists may set off an explosive in the mine, and how to respond to that. This is a global company. Measures will need to be put in place to protect stock prices, taking cross-spell into account, too.
She's got a point. Anything that affects the Reinford company is going to indirectly affect a lot of people's lives.
Correct. The Reinford Group is its own entity with its own role to fill, and I have mine as chairman. The Provincial Army and the RMP are acting in accordance with their purpose, and one might even say the same of the terrorists. Action with a purpose, that's what keeps the world in motion. So tell me, what's your purpose?
Well...
If you get what I'm saying, I suggest you leave. I expect the explosion at the military factory is the extent of the damage the terrorists will cause here. I'll give you several additional tasks. I suggest you work on those for the remainder of the day. And considering the situation here, I think it'd be best if you leave Ruhr tomorrow morning. You have my permission as a sitting director on the Academy's board.
But...
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not going to keep making the same mistakes anymore.
Oh?
All my life, I've turned a blind eye to what was going on right in front of me. I did it when you drove Grandfather out and took his position as chairman. And I did it when Father died and you let work become your life. All along, you've been working to build the company bigger and bigger, and all along, I just looked the other way. But in our field studies at Thor's, I've seen the imbalances and injustices of the world crop up over and over again. But even with that, I, and all of us really, have to face that head on. And that's exactly what we've been doing. You asked what our purpose is. After 6 months at the academy, that's my answer.
Well said.
Agreed.
That's why this time, I don't plan on backing down. You need to hear the truth, and I need to be the one to tell you. As your daughter, as your family, and above all, as someone who's watched the Rhineford Company grow ever since I was a little girl. Mother, you're running this company the wrong way.
My lady.
Can I assume you, in your infinite wisdom, are planning to tell me the correct way to run my company?
Naturally. But I still need more experience before I can do that. I promise you, though, that by the time I graduate from the academy, I'll show you how this company should be run. As someone who just might succeed you as the chairman someday, I should be able to do at least that much.
It's one thing to
Mom,
make a
I'm coming
promise.
for your job.
It's quite another to live up to it. Still, at least you're starting to see the bigger picture.
Mother.
Give it to her, Sharon.
Certainly. Here, my lady.
What's this? Some kind of key card?
Correct. It opens the door to a passage that connects Ruhr City to the iron mine.
Wait!
There's really a secret passage?
The former chairman built it for use in case of an emergency. You'll find the entrance in the underground part of a maintenance room on the upper level of the city.
If we use that passage...
We should be able to completely avoid having to deal with the provincial army.
I'm not going to say thanks. Right now, I just believe this is the best way to press forward. And I'm going to tell you why through actions, not words.
Excuse us, Madam Chairman. We've learned a lot during our field studies, and we'll put it all to use to come out on top.
You don't need to worry about us.
They've grown a lot in the last 6 months. It's been a pleasure to watch them. Surely it wouldn't hurt to acknowledge that Lady Elisa has grown too.
She's still got a ways to go. If she wants to take the mantle of the Rhineford Company from me, she'll have to show me she's got what it takes. Anyway, it seems all our principal players have assembled. Can I ask you to do one more thing for me?
Certainly.
She was planning on it.
After our meeting, we contacted Jellicoe and George and agreed to meet in front of the maintenance room that hid the entrance to the passage.
She was planning on it.
Yeah, but she wanted Elisa to reach the decision herself.
It's still a matter of she was planning on it and believed Elisa to be ready. That's why she had it all prepared.
Uh-huh. I'm not saying that she didn't. I'm also not saying she's a great mother, but she's a terrible mother in some regards.
Who would have thought there'd be an underground passage going all the way from Ruhr to the mine? Gwen really does think of everything.
Oh, you know Elisa's grandfather?
I've heard you two got along famously back when he was still living in Ruhr.
They're both literate, so probably.
He taught me all kinds of great stuff. How to pick up girls.
Oh, yeah.
The
See?
best spots in the entertainment district. You know, the really important things in life.
My
Of
point.
course, you know, the basics.
The basics.
It's
The bare
not that I
necessities.
can't believe it, it's that I can.
I love that line.
We all can very
It's not that I
easily.
can't. It's that I can.
I can only hope to sit and learn at the feet of the master one day.
Still, it's probably thanks to him that Angie didn't go any further off the rails than she did.
Can't deny that.
That's nothing to laugh about.
I wonder if we'll seem as colorful to the first years when we're second years.
So, you think this is gonna work?
All right, that should do it.
What is this thing?
An orbital wave antenna?
It's currently in development at the Institute of Technology, but I managed to convince them to let me borrow it. It emits directional orbital waves to widen the area where you can transmit and receive signals. That means you'll be able to use your Arcus unit's communication functionality even down here in the mine.
That sounds pretty handy.
You can do that?
Yep, Toa's busy gathering information on what's going on across the Empire right now. And I'll be able to pass that info along to you while overseeing this operation. But if things get too dangerous, I'll give you the order to pull out, so make sure you keep the line open.
George is just our handler.
Got it.
Yeah, he's the guy in the chair.
It'll be nice to have some support.
Well, if George is just a call away, we've got nothing to worry about.
Okay, I think it's about time we got going. And thanks again, everyone, for coming along. I've got my Arcus on me, so I should be able to hold my own in battle.
Always room for one more with us.
Your knowledge of the mind will really be invaluable.
I'm looking forward to seeing you clean up with those Taito skills of yours.
And we're gonna call it here because we're gonna go into a dungeon, and I don't know how many cutscenes are throughout the dungeon.
True.
There could be
Just start
two.
the fade out too.
There could be
Yeah.
30. I don't know. I'd be
Question,
surprised.
did you
if there's
talk to 10?
Yes. So let me raid out to Micah real quick, and then.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go raid y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe be back tomorrow. If not, Friday. Bye.